Nice.
Hey there, welcome to TetraKey TV. We've renamed it. Mark didn't know about it, but it's TetraKey TV as of now. And while we wait for our audience to build, I want to share something with you that is very, very exciting to us. We came up with an idea today, and today we've been meeting people, and as of about 5 or 6 weeks' time, we're going to start a fly-on-the-wall YouTube TV documentary once a week, filmed, called Get Coached. Now, why is this relevant to you? Well, A, you get to see what happens when coaching happens, but B, we're going to offer 3 lucky people the opportunity to get coached for free by either Mark or myself. And we're going to offer 1 small business owner the opportunity, 1 medium-sized business owner the opportunity, and just 1 individual who wants to get coached on something, about something, for some reason, the opportunity to get coached for 3 months by us for free. And here's the thing, if you want that to be you, then you need to email me info@tetrakey.com with why we should consider you to get 3 months worth of free coaching, and which one of those 3 categories you want to sit in. And the next step in that, there's going to be some more stages and some more things that we need to do. But the more often you share the content from our Facebook Lives, the higher your likelihood of getting selected goes. So there you go. That's the cool opportunity that's coming up. 12 weeks, and you're going to get to be famous on TV. How exciting is that, Mark?
What more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for? So today is session 35 of 260 sessions that we're bringing to you in 2017. And tonight we're going to be talking about how what you concentrate on may well be holding you back. And wouldn't it be nice to know, Mark, what it is that's holding you back, and get that in one short Facebook Live session?
Imagine if that was possible.
Imagine if that was possible, almost like we planned it. To take part in this evening's session, Mark, what's the ticket to the game?
Like, share, most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel, download our book and give feedback and comments, and basically participate.
Yep. There's a comment section on Facebook Live where you can ask us questions, give us feedback, so please feel free to do that throughout this. And at the end of tonight's session, we'll have a little Q&A if anybody's got any questions. So that's it. There's also, you'll find on the TetraKey, what's it called, Facebook newsfeed, at the top, pinned to the top, is some information about a free selling success course that you can go and take part in. So go and engage in that as well. So, anything else? No, that's it really. If you want to put a big, nice big thumbs up on YouTube, that's what we like to see, and please share. So tonight, what you're concentrating on may well be holding you back. And it's kind of obvious in some respects, because if you always concentrate to the left, you miss what's on the right, and if you always concentrate to the right, you always miss what's on the left. And the question I want to ask you tonight is, what sort of person are you? Are you a big picture thinker? You like to think about the future, about the macro level of things, about the strategy, about how much money you could make one day, and do you lean that way? Or are you a micro thinker? You get down to the detail. You're a pennies and cents person. What other thing do micro people do? You notice semantics, grammar. You notice the small little problems that in things. Quite possibly. And so just take a second and have a think, which one do you naturally lean towards? And quite possibly you could put that in the comments section right now, couldn't you?
Yeah, and I'm going to add another one from micro and macro. I'm going to add another 3 options for you to think about in terms of what might be holding you back. And it's, again, personal story. It's past, present and future. Mm-hmm. Where do you live your life? Do you live your life looking backwards at the past? Are you anticipating the future and therefore only focusing on what may happen? Or are you actually in the here and now? So again, something I've personally changed. I used to spend a lot of my time thinking about the future, and I worked out pretty quickly that was holding me back. So,
the only place you can impact your future is now.
Yep, it's the only place you've got influence.
Only place you've got influence is on the now, the present. So what is it for you? Macro or micro? Are you looking behind you, staying in the moment, or looking ahead of you? And each one of those things has a massive degree of strength to it. It's hard to run a business if you can't envisage where it is you're going to go to and what it is you're going to achieve. And yet a lot of business owners get really stuck in 5 years' time as or the big picture of the strategy as opposed to doing the doing. And so here's the thing that we'd like you to consider. If you're the sort of person who looks at something and you notice all the small things, so let's for instance say you watch a YouTube video of somebody sailing a boat, and you notice that the sail's busy flapping, and that one of the ropes isn't tight enough, and all those tiny little details, and you don't actually then concentrate on what the person being interviewed is actually saying. You're missing out on the message by that concentration on that micro little stuff, or the stuff that doesn't quite look right. And so that's, in general terms, holding you back. If you're the sort of person who wants to give feedback instantly on something, chances are you haven't seen or heard the whole message, because the message may well have the context of why the micro stuff isn't like you believe it should be. Just as much as if you're a big picture person, the execution on big picture happens with small building blocks. So what are you missing out on that's the small nuance? And so the key to success really is some form of behavioural flexibility. It's being able to see the big picture and deal with the small stuff simultaneously, and vice versa, no matter what sort of person you are. It's being able to appreciate that there is a past, but that it need not impact on your future, but also understanding that the time and place you can impact on your future is right now in this very present second. And just by taking part in tonight's Facebook Live, if you execute some of this thought and hold yourself accountable to it, you are impacting directly on your future. It's impossible not to. Anything from you?
Yeah, so I had a meeting today with a client, and we were having this conversation. And we came to the position of the how. So one thing we've said with TetraKey is we're not just going to give you why, we're not going to give you the what, we're also going to give you the how. How did we work with this client in order to make them understand how to play the seesaw? And we talked about the concept of deliberate action. So it is understanding what it is that you're going to do, why it's going to do, and how it's going to impact and influence on the things that you want it to do. So, for example, if you have a strategy that relies on multiple stakeholders in order to be successful, then how do you become deliberate to ensure that all those people are involved in the process, they get ownership, you communicate them onto a regular basis, and you also hold them accountable. So it's being deliberate in what you do. If you want to change the behaviour and you want to have that focus, put your phone away as you walk into the building. How many people do we walk into, when you go into your business tomorrow, put your phone in your pocket? That may be holding you back, because all your team, when they see you come in the office in the morning, they're on the phone. You don't greet them. Put your phone in the pocket. You set yourself a target. I will not take the phone out of my pocket until I've been in the office for at least 15 minutes. See if you can do that. I reckon most of us are going to struggle. But imagine what you can achieve in those first 15 minutes if you don't look at your phone.
Exactly. And so isn't it interesting, I had somebody come up to me a little while ago, in fact quite a few years ago now. When was that course? In 2.5 years ago? Big course, Pretoria. And she came up to me and dumped the manual in front of me, and she went, I've been through here and I've corrected all the spelling mistakes for you. It's terrible. And there were some spelling mistakes. Although if she'd paid attention to the course, she'd understood that some of the grammar differences in there were around language patterns of deletion, distortion and generalization, which you find in Miltonian language, and they were there on purpose. So here's a lady who paid to attend a 3-day course and probably missed out a day and a half of it because she was pissed off with the spelling, punctuation and grammar. And the spelling, I have those 10 spelling mistakes. Hands up on that one. My theirs and theirs are terrible. You know that there and there? Terrible. But the grammar, if you paid attention to it, was related to Miltonian language patterns, which was part of the learning of the course she paid to engage in. So she was an example of a micro person. Equally, we've had clients who are macro people who seem to struggle to deliver today. There's like stuff actually has to happen today, and somebody who manages their macro and micro very well is Warren Buffett. And in a recent interview with him, he showed somebody his diary, and in 2 weeks' time, of one of the world's richest men, he had 2 meetings in his diary for 2 weeks' time. Which, if you go and look at other people, they'll have their diary allocated to the nearest 35 seconds, including the toilet break and the time to blow their nose. And he said, no, I manage this really, really simply. I always know what the macro is, what my strategy is, what my goal is, and every hour I prioritise what my tasks are for the next hour to make that the next logical step towards what my larger strategy is, based upon what just happened in the previous hour. So he holds himself accountable to that because something is likely to have changed in the previous hour, a new opportunity, a shortcut, or something or other. And I really liked his approach to that.
Yeah, it's a very practical thing. I do it with my 7-year-old son. He's
being mind washed.
Kids want structure, but they always want. I say to my son, "We'll make a plan. We need to make a plan because we need that flexibility." So that concentration on what's holding you back, it's having the ability. So the how, take your blinkers off. Understand where the true value is, where you need to play. So again, you need to understand you as a person. You need to understand what your strengths are and how you can deploy those strengths. You need to understand what you're not so good at. And either you need to surround people with those skills or you need to upskill yourself very carefully. But the only way you're going to do this is being deliberate and be conscious. If you get those two things, so tomorrow, like I said, first 15 minutes, that phone does not come out of your pocket, does not come out of your bag. See how you play in terms of the micro and the macro. See how your team engages you slightly differently when you go up to them and they're not expecting you to pick up the phone. Be deliberate and feed back to us in terms of how it goes.
So phone challenge. My second layer of this is, if you know you're the person who notices microscopic details, the moment you notice one, take out a notepad and pen and start writing down what somebody is actually saying and then read it for yourself. Get to know the message. If you're somebody who is macro deep concentrated, my challenge for you tomorrow is to go and work out the how is so-and-so doing that. Because if you can go and watch somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk and watch his YouTube series, you probably can work out how to go and structure all of your social media for your business for free. The content is quality. But you have to go and go from macro to micro and micro to macro to achieve that. So there we go. There's the thoughts for today.
There's quite a few hows in today.
Yeah, lots and lots of hows. And the biggest how is our fly on the wall documentary that's going to be coming up called Get Coached. If you want to take part in that, if you want to be a person who's going to get coached, you just need to email us info@tetrakey.com and we will select 3 people who are going to get coached as part of that documentary for 3 months for free. So there we go. Click like, click share. Be amazing.
Perfect.
That's it. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow with some more thoughts.
Good night.
Good night.